him, but it's for his own safety. I don't do it too often, but anyway, he I worry about him. All right, all dogs are present and accounted for. That's good. That's a bit of a relief. So, putting the snowshoes on. These snowshoes, again, are pretty easy to get on and off. I love them. One of the things that some of our older snowshoes have that are, you've seen them before, I'm sure. They have like a rubberized material here that kind of gives, it's a bit of a shock absorber. I don't necessarily like those, and they've got the aluminum frame around them, and when you're hiking, they clank together and make a bunch of noise. But anyway, these are nice and narrow. Like that. Boom. So I really don't have a chest harness yet for this GoPro, so I'm just going to be putting it into a little niche, or a little gap in my backpack, maybe right here, and so it'll jiggle around and it'll probably end up like that. So I'll try to kind of keep it vertical, so you don't have to, so your neck doesn't hurt when you're watching the video. And also, this microphone's pretty close to my face when I'm wearing it, so you're gonna hear some heavy breathing, but that's okay. All right. Come on, Frank. So there are quite a bit of moose in this area that we're hiking, and I rely on the dogs to kind of alert me to moose, because they're hard to see. I mean, you can walk right up on a moose and surprise the shit out of you. And if it's a cow with a calf, they can be quite aggressive, protecting their young. Moose in general are quiet. About 2.5 years ago, Melissa and I were sitting in the yard, had a little fire going in the fire pit in our yard, and Sugar and Frankie were out just kind of loitering around the campfire, and out of nowhere this cow busts through the trees, and Melissa and I had to scramble. This moose is probably 15 feet away from us, and the dogs we're buzzing around the moose, kind of keeping it distracted. There was definitely a confrontation. Anyway, Melissa and I, we got up and hustled off to the house, and that moose was on us. And I've seen some videos of people getting trampled by moose, and man, that's some nasty stuff. Trample's a good word, because they actually come up on you, and a lot of times with the front paws, and just knock you to the ground, and then while you're down on the ground, they just stomp on you. About 10 years ago, a gal was out hiking with her dogs in the neighborhood next to us, and she got trampled by a moose. She ended up dying. She went to the hospital and survived for, I guess, a few days, but she ended up having a stroke. I imagine might have been a blood clot or something. But I don't know if they attributed it to the moose, or I don't know how they do that. Anyway, there's Shuggies walking. Those guys are just light enough to where they're not breaking through the snow. We've got a kind of an icy, crusty layer to the top, and they're light enough to where they can kind of walk on the surface a little bit. If I didn't have these snowshoes on, I'd be up to my knees for sure, but right now I'm just kind of floating on top. Sometimes it actually sinks down into the snow, the snowshoes, but it only goes down like, I'll try and show you here. Well, we're pretty much in a big sunny meadow right now, so this snow has been freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing. Again, provides a nice little crusty layer. But we're gonna get up into those woods here, into the shade, and then you'll see we'll be looking at pretty much white powdery snow. All right, so every time we go hiking here, there's a deer carcass right up there. You probably can't see it because we got white dog on white snow, but Frankie's chewing some kind of vertebrae or rib cage right now, and Sugar is on her way to go join Frankie. I'm gonna get him away from there though, because then, come on, Shugs, come on. Oh, Sugar just heard me turn her controller on, and that was enough for her to turn around. But Frankie, I was giving him the vibration, and that's good. Good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are a good boy. He's got a big bone in his mouth right now. No, he doesn't actually. I thought he did. You're a good boy, Frankie. Shuggies, you're a good girl. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I forgot a hat today, and that's not good. Hat for sun protection, not necessarily because it's cold. In fact, it's pretty nice out right now. It's about 39 degrees. I've got a sweatshirt on, long sleeve t-shirt just a pair of jeans. I like that. Tim Purdy, good college buddy of mine, came up, just left. He came down from North Dakota on for this weekend. He and his wife Susanna, two of the nicest people I think I know, and they came to go skiing with me and a couple other college buddies from North Dakota. Actually, those guys don't live in North Dakota. They live in Denver and Boulder area, and so we met at Eldora on Saturday. Those guys went skiing. Melissa and I just ended up coming up in the afternoon and meeting them out on the sun deck there at the Eldora Ski Resort, and then had a good time. Tim and Suzanne came and spent the night with us that night, and then we went skiing in Loveland on Sunday. Just perfect weekend. And anyway, Tim had brought his GoPro, and I was oogling over it because of my problem with the my old camcorder, and so I was asking him a laundry list of questions, and anyway, we were heading into Costco for one reason or another, me and Tim and Susanna, and we drove separately. Anyway, he actually goes to the electronics section without me knowing, grabs this GoPro 11 and goes up to the cashier, buys it, and then just gives me this camera. I can't believe it. I'm just indebted to him. The kindness was just, I can't tell you how lucky I am to have